There are a lot of indications as to the state of a team, the state of a locker room. There's a lot of ways that you can tell the strength or weakness of a locker room of a team. A lot of ways. Some ways is by winning streaks and losing streaks. Sometimes the locker room can be. I'm not saying that winning streaks and losing streaks are always going to be the case, because you can have a toxic locker room, but your team is just better than everyone else's. They're just going to go out and beat everyone else. Or you can have the best locker room in the world. You just don't have the players, and you can lose damn near every game, but the locker room is still strong. So that's not always an indication. What is always an indication of how strong your locker room is, though, is the quote-unquote leaks and comments that come out of your own locker room. I can't get over the fact, and I will continue to scream it from the rafters. There was a point in time, a very small point, but a point in time where this Saints team was looked at as one of the best teams in football. Albeit it was 2 weeks, but still, what they did to the Cowboys and how they looked the first 2 games of the season, you would think that this team was going to be destined for greatness this year. But as we sit here now, the Saints have extended their losing streak to 7 after they lost to the Panthers 23-22. Dennis Allen got fired quickly after this game. Actually, he got fired the next day. And you know what's crazy? While yes, I think that one of the main reasons why he got fired was because they lost to the then 1-7 Panthers. You essentially lost to the worst team in football. Let alone, I understand it's a divisional game, but still, they're the worst team in football. But I think one of the biggest reasons why he got fired was the comments that came out of the locker room. The Saints, it is such a night and day difference of how they were to start the season compared to where they are now. Yes, Derek Carr got hurt a good portion of those games, but still. Derek Carr played against the Panthers and still 18 for 31, 236 yards, 1 touchdown. Alvin Kamara, 29 carries, 155 yards. They outgained them. The Saints outgained the Panthers by damn near double. And they still lost. Now you have former players like Michael Thomas come out. Chris Olave goes out. So Michael Thomas just goes on a rampage on Twitter about, his relationship with Derek Carr and how Derek Carr isn't as good as people say they are, and how Derek Carr does not have the best interest of his wide receivers, throwing up essentially hospital balls, And then I don't remember his name, but you have the defensive player that is currently on the team that just played in this game being critical on social media with this team. Again, man, winning streaks and losing streaks can tell you a lot about a team. And it also tells you a lot about the leaders of a team. I have been a supporter, sort of Derek Carr. I was on that boat saying that a lot of stuff that happened with the Raiders was because of the Raiders organization. And we're going to talk about the Raiders shortly. But a lot of things that happened to Derek Carr was about the Raiders and the organization and how the organization essentially didn't help him. Now, yes, they did get Devontae Adams, but I was too little too late. But I do think it's interesting that this is the second time that Dennis Allen has been fired, and both times Derek Carr was the starting quarterback. Not saying that Derek Carr asked for him to be fired or demanded he was being fired, but I do think that this. I talked about this in the season preview, bro. Like every year, the Saints have the roster to be good, and every year they let us down. And I thought, silly me, I thought that this was going to be the year. After those first 2 weeks, I put out clips. I said it on the podcast, man. I said that this is going to be different. I was wrong. You lost to a Panthers team that doesn't even know who their starting quarterback. They had Bryce Young as their starting quarterback. The same Bryce Young they benched for Andy Dalton. And I think the only reason why he's playing is because Andy Dalton got into a car accident. Oh, man. It is such... I'm sure it is tough. Obviously, the checks are cool, but I'm sure it's tough being a Saint right now. So, and shouts out to the Panthers, man. Like, when you have, it's very easy to just pack. I know it's a divisional game, but it's very easy to just pack it up and be like, yo, we're 1-7 at this time. Nah, bro, season's over. And essentially you aren't playing for much of anything, but to go in and beat the Saints. Dog, the Saints and the Panthers have the same the Saints and the Panthers have the same record. Both 2-7 now. Shouts out to the Panthers for beating the Saints 23-22. Oh, man, you stayed to the end of the video. I appreciate you. If you like what you saw, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss any content from your boy. You can also go back and watch past episodes, past clips, and don't forget that the Unpopular Podcast, new episodes drop every Wednesday and Saturday. Appreciate you.